here in this particular, and this whole beginning of this, is the acceleration is happening. There's all this resistance in the physical world or in people's minds and their political aspirations and economic ideas of who they are. There's all this resistance. But we're coming up here. We're here on the 4th day now. And we're headed for this 5th night. The 5th night, as we talked about earlier, there's lots of bad things that happen. But in general, it got to be more and more specific bad things, not less general bad. Like 250 million years of meteor bombardment throughout the whole solar system is pretty general. Then we get up here, the Ice Age. Well, that was only certain continents, you know. Then we get up here, Rome fell. Oh, well, boom. One area of the planet. Then here, World War II happened. Well, World War II being is bad, but it sure isn't 250 million years of meteor bombardment. In other words, this whole creation thing has been getting more and more controlled or structured. Sort of like when you were learning how to ride a bike. At first, you didn't have any experience and no momentum. And so, boom, boom, boom. Later, as you got more experience and more momentum, you had better control. And so consciousness is getting better and better, more defined and more defined, more specific kinds of change, even for bad stuff, and less general. So we've got a 5th night coming up. Well, what's that 5th night going to be about? This, right here. We need, or we're going to have more heat. Because this force is going to keep on coming, and there's this resistance which comes from ourselves. This resistance is the resistance to the knowledge that we are God. That resistance is going to cause all kind of heat here. What happens when you heat water? Does that look like ascension to you? You understand that a block of ice cannot pass through things that water can pass through. And steam can pass through where water would never dream of going. So as far as understanding or ability to interact with the universe, the more and more refined the particles are of our consciousness, the more and more we can permeate understanding. So it's very, very much like this, again, as above, so below. It's very much like the physical characteristics. Our consciousness is following the same path. This happens very, very specific thing that happens during this coming up, 5th night. Not a world destruction. We're over that. We're past that. You understand? We're past that part. Consciousness is not going to tear up the planet when it's got conscious co-creation in mind. We've already went through all of this stuff down here. And you can see how it's getting less and less and less and less. Yeah, there might be some earth changes. There may be a flush of a few million people. But it's not the end of everything. And it's only the beginning of something far, far greater. Now, that's what's on track. I mean, the systems that we have, the systems are like this, right here. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be, and it's, you know, you're in debt, you will go to work, you will pay your bills. That's changing. First of all, you're not in debt. It doesn't exist. It's manufactured. Just like automobiles or toothbrushes. Debt was built, was engineered. You want to know how real debt is? There's a biomass on this planet. That is all the living, breathing. That's leaves and grass and insects and bugs and all that, right? And then there's us. And we are 0.001% of all that biomass. So how real is debt? I don't know. Let's go ask a bear. How much do you owe? Or a whale. How much do you owe? It just doesn't exist. Go ask some indigenous person. How much do you owe? Owe to who? Well, didn't somebody bring you a rabbit last night for your pot? Well, yeah. They do that every week or so. But then we deliver snake meat for them. Well, whenever we have extra of this, we take it over to them. There's no debt there in those societies. We've been the ones, yeah.
May come naive, but I don't see bears and whales and insects buying products and having to pay rent and, cars, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having a hard time not seeing how that might have incurred some debt, our need-based, so-called need-based.
Okay. Whales have to work to live. They have to actually swim and catch plankton and stuff.
I thought they were just having a whale of a good time.
Oh, sure they are. But they have to actually expend energy to produce a product for themselves to live on. That's no different than what we're doing. We're just doing a more variety of products, of activities. None of that actually is about debt. All those products are created from natural resources that were there. Right? They were already there. They were provided. So the whole idea of commerce, of having to buy something, in itself is manufacturing. It's been built over the last 4,000 years, the system. Merchant law, then contract law, common law, British law, which is our law. And come to find out, the system was built specifically to fail over and over again. And then one big final failure. And when you look at the schedule, you can actually see it. All through this whole period, right here, this whole the system periodically, every 20 years, collapses. And it's in the book, by the way. The connection between the economy and consciousness is like this. Every one of the nights, the economy turns down. During the days, it goes up. It's fantastic. Yes?
When is the fifth night?
The third night?
No, when is the fifth night?
Oh, the fifth night. That is in 2008. Yeah. 2006 is, 2005 is the fourth day. Pretty much until November. 2006 is the fourth night. This is when free energy will probably come online. This is during the nights is when you get applied what you learned during the days. Then we go into the fifth day, which is a wide open, expansive time period. That is 2007, and then 2008 will be the fifth night.
And when do you think the banking system is going to collapse?
Right around April 12th.
2006?
No, this year.
I thought you said March.
No, what's happening in March, I did say March, what's happening in March is there's a meeting in Europe.
That gives me a whole 30 days more.
Yeah. Well, you'll see this coming, and it's not going to happen all at once. People ask me, when is it going to come down? It's coming down now, people. Now. Have you ever seen a glacier, like the glacier faces are falling off into the water? You ever seen pictures of that, movies and stuff? Mm-hmm. And it looks like it's in slow motion, doesn't it? It's not. That was real-time photo. The reason it looks so slow is because it's so big. Yes. Well, think about it. How big is the world economy? It is coming down now. We're watching it.
So what do you suggest we do to prepare?
Oh,
If anything?
get into your intuition.
Besides that,
And we're going to talk about that more, too.
Okay.